And this is kind of a conversation I have with people often. They're looking for more results for their staff, and they say to me, it'd be great if I can get my staff to produce more. I want more appointments. I want to get out there, and we need more students. What would be a great money incentive? And this is a real touchy one because we always believe that our staff's going to be motivated by money, which a lot of them are. But if we don't do enough training prior to this, then a lot of times we get negative results. So in other words, we tell our staff, hey, if you only signed up 20 people, I was going to give you this. Then they don't sign up 20 people. You get a little frustrated because you feel that they're not doing their job. Or they get frustrated because they're doing everything they know how to do, but they're not making that number. And they're going, well, hey, give me this big incentive. I can't make that number. It's unrealistic. And then all of a sudden they start losing their energy. So I happened to just read this morning, and I said, this is good stuff to talk about. And it comes from one of John Maxwell's leadership programs. I think this was like a 30-day program that I read through, and I probably on day 24 or something now. But it's just talking about what leaders have to know to get good results from their employees. And number one, everyone wants to feel worthwhile. So if someone's going to be worthwhile and you start giving them a goal, they have to feel that they're getting the job done because they want to be responsible to you and they want to be productive. If all of a sudden someone can't make that goal, and all of a sudden you say, I just want you to make 2 appointments a day. If you make 2 appointments a day, I'm going to give this incentive. He's not doing 2 appointments. Then all of a sudden they don't feel worthwhile. And instead of trying harder, they start pulling back. So we just have to start thinking about how people under us, what's going through their mind. So everyone wants to feel worthwhile. Everyone needs and responds to encouragement. This is one of the big things I talk about when you're doing graduation, how it's important to really praise your team and your staff in front of your entire school. People rise to that. Even over money, people want to feel appreciated. So everyone needs and responds to encouragement. This one I think is really cool, and I about all these 7, I think it's my favorite. People buy into the leader before they buy into the plan. Recently, the church I belong to, they did a thing called a Relentless Pursuit. Relentless Pursuit was they're asking everyone what they can contribute above and beyond what they're doing now. And why would people want to contribute to that? Because our leader had a plan. Our leader had a plan to open more churches and more neighborhoods, speaking the neighborhood language, and he had that huge plan. But the thing was, everyone really buys into the leader of our church. Our leader's name is Jimmy. Everyone loves him. They come to his services. They respect him. He's got a big family. They're kind of amazed at that. He still has time to do all these other things. They really buy into the leader. So when he was talking about, hey, this is the plan I'd like you to support, he didn't buy into the plan. He already bought into Jimmy. And they said, okay, I'm with you. I'm going to be part of this team. So it's same with when you're training your staff. If you're the type of leader where they really want to follow, you're leading by the example, and it's an example that they say, okay, I want to follow this person. I want to help this person because I believe in him, and I also really believe in the cause. And I know the cause is to get more students in our school. It's not just so he can buy a bigger house or save more money, but he's really trying to change the community. So I respect him. I respect the plan. And that's how people, that's the order they buy into it. They're not just going to respond to you and buy into you if you say, I'm going to give you $10 to make an appointment. Well, why should I make an appointment? Well, the reason I want to make the appointment is to help out our school, help out the vision, help out the leader. I want to be part of this. So you got to make sure that you really show your team that you're interested in them. And that's another thing I talk about when we're looking for a staff member. We want to know what they're looking for, what they want to get, what incentives that they're looking for. Are they looking to move out of a house into their own home, get away from their parents? How can I help them do that? If they see that you're a leader that cares about them more than just doing the job, they're more likely to follow you, and then they will buy into your plan of getting new students. Most people don't know how to be successful. And when I say this is we're going to talk about having your staff get appointments. When you just hire someone into your school and say, hey, I would like to give you a job, and the job is to make more appointments for our team in our school, well, they don't really know how to succeed at that. They have to have their tools. Once they have their tools, now at least they have what's necessary to be successful in the program. But if I just walked into someplace, say, I feel like I'm pretty good at talking to people, I would like this job as far as enrolling new students, and they just say, okay, do it, and you don't give them the tools, they'll never be successful. People are naturally motivated. If they believe in what they're doing, they have the tools for the job, they're going to get it done. I mean, most people, especially the ones you hire, aren't the people who are just going to stay in bed all day long. If they're into the martial arts and they're self-motivating people, they're going to be the same way when it comes to the job. So generally, people are naturally motivated. Most people will move once they receive permission and equipping. So this is I have to give them the tools. That's the equipping. Once I equip them and say, okay, now I want you to put your personality behind it. I want you to go to work and go out to the community. They get your permission to be their own person. They're going to start getting the job done. So I think these are really good. Again, these come from John Maxwell. Everyone wants to feel worthwhile. Everyone needs and responds to encouragement. People buy into the leader before they buy into the plan. When I read this too, I said, that's martial arts right there. I mean, as much as we'd like to say, hey, I want a system-driven school so I don't have to be there, and I want 20 locations there and run like McDonald's. We get into martial arts because we're unique. And so people buy into that leadership. That's why we're still a personality-driven. You may have a couple locations, but each one of your locations has a separate leader, and people buy into that leader. Most people don't know how to be successful. That's where training comes in. We just have to give them the benefit of the doubt. People are naturally motivated. I gave this example a couple weeks ago. I said all your team members should have an imaginary 10 on their forehead. They may not be a level 10 employee yet, but they have the potential of being a level 10 employee. So it was just, okay, this is a person, they can be a level 10. It's up to me to equip them. And again, most people will move once they receive permission and equipping. So what would we have to do to train a staff into making appointments? Number one is they should be able to start a conversation with a stranger, and they should be able to do an elevator speech. An elevator speech is like you get in an elevator and you're going to the 12th floor, someone's in the elevator, and they just, hey, what do you do? And you're able to tell them what you do by the time you got to the 12th floor. So you don't have all day to talk to this person. No, we have to get to the main thing right away and start a conversation. A lot of your staff members may be really good with you at starting a conversation, but if they have to walk up to a total stranger and start talking about martial arts, they find that difficult. One of the things that I try to help the bakers with, I say, when I take my dog for a walk, I challenge myself to talk to everyone I see. And it's a little bit tough here in West Palm Beach, Florida, because a lot of people I see walking have earbuds and stuff like that, but it makes it a little more difficult. But I just try to make a conversation. So I walk down, so someone goes by, I go, good morning, how you doing? And I try to start some type of conversation. So that'd be a good thing to train your staff on, how to break the ice and how to start talking to people. And what's my elevator speech? I'm a martial artist. I'm really in the transformation business. And what I do is I take kids that are shy and I transform them into leaders. And that's what we do at our martial arts school. That'd be a sample of an elevator speech. It took me, 20 seconds to go and say what the purpose of our school is. I don't have to tell them all about the punching, blocking, kicking, but that would be an elevator speech. Next thing I want to do is equip them with some type of thing to give away. I mentioned that last week. You should have some type of guest pass, a VIP guest pass, or a you're invited to try a class card. So when you're talking to someone, and you can say here and then explain what this is. Hey, my name is Greg Silva. I happen to be out just marketing my martial arts school. I saw you, and I'd just like to give you a pass to try out one of our classes. Easy way to start a conversation. Rack cards. Rack cards, again, if you teach your people how to put them out. I was talking with Zach Siokas. Zach Siokas is one of our board members for Black Belt Schools International. He's also amazing at getting out rack cards. I know Jerry Prince is on this line here someplace. I hired Jerry and Zach to come out to my school in Arizona one time, and they did rack cards. Did it for a day and a half. They got over 200 locations. So within 12 hours, they had 200 locations with rack cards. So how do you do that? Well, it takes a little bit of guts. You have to walk into a store, ask for the manager, tell the manager who you are and what you would like to do, and get permission to put rack cards in a location. So if you're doing that with a staff member, I would get out there and do it with them. Get out there, do it with them, show them exactly how it's done so they feel comfortable. And then all of a sudden, now they're talking to the store owner, give them some feedback. But again, it takes training. It's hard just to say, go do this without a plan. Another way is you should teach them when they're talking to the businesses how you can give a discount for that business. Boeing made the Apache helicopter in Mesa, Arizona. It's probably only 2 miles away from my martial arts school. We talked to Boeing, and we found a way to get in there where Boeing employees could get 10% off martial arts classes. So that's a big thing for human resources. Human resources love something like that because they're looking for benefits for their employees. So one of the ways you can train a staff member, hey, we're going to go to different businesses. You're going to talk to the person who's head of human resources. Say we have a martial arts school in town. We know a lot of businesses are looking to keep their employees healthy. We have a great martial arts program and a fitness program. We'd like to offer your employees a discount. It's a great way to get the conversation going. And that's a tool to help get, again, more appointments. Promotional booth. You guys already know how to do these, but you want to make sure your staff members can do this. It's really funny. I was at a fair here in Palm Beach 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there was a guy who had an MMA school, and he had a promotional booth at this fair, and he was standing behind the table, and he was sitting behind the table, waiting for people to approach them. And I was talking to my wife. I go, it's taking me everything to stop myself from going over there and say, hey, stand up, get from behind the table, go in front of the table, have a giveaway, because he did have wristbands. And when kids go by, I say, to the parents, hey, would you mind if I give a wristband to your child, and start a conversation? But so that's what you want to teach your team. Promotional booth seems like it's kind of, okay, I can figure this out. But again, not everyone knows how to be successful. So we have to train our staff how to be successful on a promotion booth, how to start a conversation, how to get their name, address, and phone number by either doing a prize wheel or contest, but it takes skills. School talks, going to the school. I know a couple people who started building rapport doing this way. Charles Jarnigan was one of them. He just started getting known to the school by bringing donuts or bagels and giving them to the people in the office. So I just like to drop these off. We have a lot of students in common. I've got a martial arts school in town, and a lot of kids go to this elementary school. I just want to thank the teachers by leaving this box of bagels or donuts. Gets in a conversation. People get to know him. Later on, he asked to make an appointment with the principal to talk to the principal. They go, sure, because he's already built this rapport. Something you can train your team at. Referrals. How do I go up to a parent who's sitting and watching class and change the conversation for referrals? It takes, again, a little bit of skill. It just could be you're going to have your instructor sit down, talk to the parent, and just ask the parent, what's the biggest benefit your child has gotten out of the program? So the mom's going to tell you, and you're going to listen to that and say, is there anything else? That's very cool. I was just wondering, I know you work in an office building. Do you have any friends at work that their children may be going through the same thing as your children? You'd like to give them a pass for a martial arts school? Well, that'd be a great way, again, to train your team how to ask for referrals. How to do outgoing phone calls. A lot of people hate this. I really don't mind outgoing phone calls. It seems like it's going to be a little bit tough. But I just try to think, what can I do this month to have something special to call someone? So if it was January, why would I call someone in January? Well, January is time everyone sets new goals, makes New Year's resolutions. It'd be easy for me to call and say, I'm from the martial arts school. I know one time you came in and did a trial class. This is a time of year everyone's setting goals for New Year's, and we're trying to help people. In fact, we have a 6-week program, and it's the whole idea is we're trying to get people to help them lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks. And I'd just like to tell you about that. So that'd be a themed call. Maybe the next month, hey, I just want to call and wish you a happy Valentine's Day. It is the month of February. We're doing something very cool this month. We have a 6-week program, but this 6-week program is a little bit different because it's a 2-for-1. We know it'd be a cool way to start up something with your Valentine. So I want to tell you about our 2-for-1 program. So I can call the same person every single month with a different idea. Right now I may call, say, the reason I'm calling is we're now taking members for our summer program. We're signing up new students. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our summer program. So outgoing calls can be easy. The worst thing that can happen is a person says, you've called me already 80 times. Would you mind not calling me anymore? That's no problem. But it shouldn't be that scary. Thank you calls. Today is the first Monday of the month. So since it's the first Monday, everyone should be having their guest day today because the first Monday of every month is guest day. So maybe you're going to have 5 guests come in. Well, tomorrow it's great to call them and thank them for coming in for the guest day. Ask if they had a great time. If they say yes, offer them maybe a free private class or a free trial class. I think William Pierce dropped a gold nugget last week we're talking on Wednesday. And I was talking about videos on Facebook. And we're just going back and forth. He goes, when you do a Facebook, it should have 3 parts. Most people don't have all 3 parts. And this is something you tell your staff member. I like to see posts on Facebook, and I like to see you get some results and sign up some new people. Here's an idea of 3 steps you need for a Facebook post. First, what we do. And next, what we do could help them. So, what we do is we transform kids. We build their confidence. We build their self-esteem. If you have a child that needs this, what I would like you to do next is click this button and sign up for a free trial class. So your post has what I do, how what I do could help you, and then what I would like to see you do next. So what I'd like to see you do next is click the button below. It's no obligation free trial class. What I would like you to do is to come in for our free community event. So again, training your staff member how to create a Facebook that produces better results. Thank you notes or thank you calls, party follow-ups, basically the same thing. Party follow-up, if you had a birthday party, again, you're calling everyone who came to the birthday party with just a follow-up call. Thanks for coming. Part of the birthday included a free month of classes, whatever you do for a birthday follow-up, or even after the birthday and you've got all the parents there, giving them an offer. So we're trying not to just do a birthday party, but we're trying to do a birthday party and subtly sell a mini membership. After the party's over, hey parents, I know you didn't come here to take classes. You came here for a birthday party. I hope you had a blast. But it always happens after party, people ask, hey, how can I get my child involved? Well, to get kids involved, we have a 2-lesson trial program. It's normally $30. They get the whole uniform, looks really sharp. But if you do it after a birthday party, it's only $10. So if you'd like to do this, see me at the desk. Well, that's going to turn more people into prospective students than if you just let them walk out the door. So if you're going to think about how I can give an incentive for my staff member who does a birthday party for appointments. So in other words, I'm going to give him all the money, all the $10 for every person who does the trial program. He's going to get to keep that. Oh, I'm going to give him some scripts. So again, after birthday party, just saying to the parents, every time we have a birthday party, a couple parents come up and ask me how to get started, and this is what we offer. Then if you sign someone up, now you can do the financial incentive. Same thing with pizza parties. I don't know. I don't have Jerry Prince on my screen, but I know Saturday when we were at instructor college, Zach was saying that he had 3 birthday parties and pizza parties to do. So that's a lot of work. But again, with Jerry Prince doing this, it's not just doing the party, but he's looking to do is to build up the school at the school. So what can I do to make sure people that come to a birthday party or pizza party end up as trials? Next thing is flyers. That's a tool that you can teach instructor to do. The bakers are in a shopping center. They got a great location where everyone who goes to Albertsons store for shopping has to go directly in front of their school, but they don't leave it at that. Every 90 minutes, they have a staff member go out flyering cars. So they do it 4:30, 5:30, and 7 o'clock at night. Someone's out there, flyers all the cars. It's not an instructor. It's just like a SWAT member assistant. They go out there. Next thing, hour and a half, everyone's changing parking spaces, because people come and go, and anyone who doesn't have a flyer gets a flyer. 7 o'clock at night, they're back out doing flyers. So these are all tools that you can train with your staff members. I thought this was kind of neat. Scott Axford posted something last week on his page, and he called it time blocking. He's got quite a few instructors, and one of the things that he wants his instructors to do, I believe it's Wednesday at 2 o'clock, I'm not sure the date, but they have to do marketing for 60 minutes. So that's their block of time. They have to do marketing, I believe it was between 2 and 3 o'clock. He sets his phone, his phone has an alarm. He immediately texts all his instructors to go, this is a time for your block. Don't forget, you're out there marketing. Please send me results at the end of the hour. So all staff members know, okay, this is the time I block out. No other appointments. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not doing anything else. This is part of my responsibility. And then at the end of the hour, they have to say, okay, this is what I did. And I didn't make any appointments today, but I met 5 people, or I scheduled 2 appointments. So again, I thought that was really good because we all get busy. Unless we block off time, it's really hard to fit things into our schedule. So I thought that was a great tip. So I know I talked to Mal a minute. Good thing I recorded this because I know you probably taking notes as fast as I talk. Any comments or anything people like to talk over?
Yeah, yes, sir. I just recently hired a recruiter, and I think he's the best recruiter we've gotten so far. We've done a few of those outdoor events, and he signed up already a few people. And I gave him a phone. I bought him a phone so he can put all the names and the contacts and all that stuff. He's been very responsive, so we've been training him. And it's just all those things that you just talked about. So it does work. And, we're going to continue to train him. He was there last weekend on this past Saturday at one of the marketing events and got 17 appointments for 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's really kicking butt. And, I'm going to teach him all the stuff that we just went over. But I think one of the cool things that I do for the staff is I pay for their, his cell phone is $80 a month, right? And I pay for it by transferring it to Verizon, and Verizon only charges me $40. So immediately he had an $80 gain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is to just put your contacts on that phone and keep in contact with them. And now he's making phone calls at home if he can't make it,
Mm-hmm.
So it's working out great.
Where did you find him, and how did you choose him?
Craigslist. It's our number one thing. Craigslist, and he's a Filipino guy, and he was basically working construction. He does he was doing martial arts, so he's really interested in martial arts too. So now I got him participating in our karate program and possibly be an instructor too. But yeah, just Craigslist.
And what's this costing you?
Well, I start every employee in a trial basis. So I started him at 12, and then I say in about 3 months we'll relook to see how important you are and how the staff likes us with you, and then we'll look at it. And generally, after 3 months, we give them a raise depending on how well they're doing. So.
And how much training does he do?
Oh, karate training?
No, this type of training.
Oh, well, every time I'm with him, I train him pretty much every day whenever I see him on things that we haven't done, like whether it's the inputting leads into the system, into calling them, texting them. So yeah, I even called him yesterday while we were off and told him, hey, I know you're going to be, because he's still transitioning from his last job. So I said, I know you're going to be working the first 8 hours and then you're not going to come in until later. So why don't you text people that you just called, or you set up an appointment this week, and call them, so that by the time you come into the studio tomorrow, which is today, it's already done. And he's like, yes, sir, I'll do it.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Very good, sir.
And who is Mr. Jerry Prince again?
Jerry Prince works with Zach Siokas. Jerry Prince was a kick butt competitor in the 80s and 90s. He's probably one of the first person I've seen do like creative forms. And then him and Zach have been friends for a long, long time. He's been managing Zach's school for at least 10 years.
Oh, so he's a manager for Mr. Siokas' school?
Yes.
And he teaches martial arts too?
Yes. Yeah, he does
got
both.
it.
Yeah, he's a manager / head instructor.
Okay, got it. Okay.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks very much. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.